We're going to teach you guys about the birds and the bees.
Alright, you guys, here is our Friday evening.
Yes.
Welcome back to our channel. If you guys are new here, I'm Brandy.
And I'm Josh.
We are married.
Married in love.
In so much love. And we are going on our Friday night date night, and we're going to take you guys with us. We are going to talk about some dating tips, because Josh and I dated for a long time.
Long time.
And stuff that we picked up along the way that worked, because clearly we're married. And if that's your end goal, then pay attention. Just kidding.
Why don't you give them the first tip, Randy?
First tip. Tip number 1. Before you can even start dating somebody, you need to be comfortable with who you are as an individual, because a lot of times when you start dating somebody, you can get wrapped up in who they are, and you start, what's that word? You start kind of finding your identity in who they are, and their interests become your interests. You kind of neglect all the things you used to like, which, I mean, when you're dating somebody, obviously you're going to do things that they like and they're going to do things you're like, but sometimes there can be a blurred line.
Yep. That is like so good. I didn't even think about that, but man, is that one good.
Yeah, that would be like number 1, figure out who you are, you know, how amazing of a person you are and everything that you bring to the table, because you can forget that because you're like, oh my gosh, this person's perfect, they're amazing.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Yeah. And so knowing who you are, knowing how awesome you are, and all the great stuff that you bring into a relationship before you actually get into one is very important for
Yes.
number 1.
Okay, so mine's going to sound very similar to that, but it's not going to be that. Have something going on in your life. Don't look to, like, yes, you're a great person, you got to know who you are individually, but you also need to have something going on in your own life. Whether it's your own goal, your own career, your own, you figured out what motivates you and you're pursuing those dreams and those passions. Don't let that person become your entire life.
And don't let that person become your happiness.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's like the same thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, if your whole world revolves around the moment you get to hang out with that person next, which is good, like me and Brandy, we always look forward to hanging out with each other, but if you have nothing going on in your life besides that relationship, I feel like you're going to smother it and kill it.
Yes, you will. All right, and number 3 would be don't compromise.
Don't compromise what?
Yes, good question. So don't compromise who you are and your beliefs.
If you believe, let's say for instance, it's wrong to smoke weed, and you've established that, which it is. Yeah. Don't compromise. If that person's like, yeah, I love smoking weed, you should be kind of questioning that. If that goes against your moral belief, that's kind of a conflict there. You know what I mean? Don't just say
something's okay because you want to be with somebody or you want to make it work.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because that thing is still going to bug you, especially if it's a big deal breaker type thing. 4.
Step number 4. Don't just date for looks.
I mean, I know.
I lucked out. I got all. But for real.
I mean, look at him.
So many people are in it for purely the sexual side. So when you're in it for, like, of course you have to be physically attracted to that person and think they're beautiful and sexy and the whole thing, but that shouldn't be the only reason you're there, because that stuff wears off. It hasn't worn off for us, and I know it sounds like kind of like an old person thing to say, but it is true, right? You're going to become used to kissing, you're going to become used to sex, you're going to become used to it, and the only thing that's left underneath that is who that person is. Their personality, the things they love to do, their quirks, their morals, their character, everything about who that person is what is really there, and who you're going to be spending 99% of the time with, right? You're only having sex 1% of the time, or maybe more, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? If you look at all the hours you spend in your life. So don't just do it for that reason. Really try and figure out who that person is outside of their beautiful face, because that's where you're going to actually find a lasting relationship and somebody that you can be best friends with.
Which is exactly what we did. Josh and I, as many of you guys may know this, if you don't know it, Josh and I didn't have, like, we had our first kiss on our actual wedding day.
You know, I've preached for many years. I've never gotten this many laughs before. I'm getting up here right now. For as long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live. I know a lot of people have asked me about why we did that, and that was just a conscious decision that we made to become best friends, because like you said, at the end of the day, that's what you have is a friendship.
Yep.
And it better be a good one if you're going to marry that person, because you're with them all the time.
Yep.
Like, especially for us, because we work together. It's a whole nother dynamic that we added to our relationship, is being married, being best friends,
Yep.
and working together. So we're together all the time.
And this might be an assumption, but like, or incorrect type of thinking, but you know, you talk to people and then maybe they've been married for a while and they're like, I can't stand that person. I need like my space. I can only take them for so long. And that could be because they married because of the physical and they don't actually like spending time with that person outside of the time that they're having sex. And that might be totally ignorant to say, but that's just kind of one thing I think, because it's like, well, why did you get married in the first place? Why did you want to spend your time with that person? If you really don't like spending time with that person, what happened? What went wrong? And I think people can be blinded by the sexual side and not really find that friendship and that quality person.
We're gonna say number 5, have fun. I think so many people just are so eager to like settle down and like get married, and you don't actually experience life and experience people. And like, you think you want something because that's all you know, but you haven't hung out with enough people to realize that there's so many different types of people out there that may be more complementary to who you are and be better, like a better fit for.
Totally see what you're saying. And I'm even going to go on the reverse side of that as well, which is like both sides. Don't just date for serious to like get married. Enjoy it. Make sure you're be best friends and have fun with the dating process. Don't rush into it. Definitely don't rush into it.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, don't be like, I have to get married after I graduate college. That's what everybody says, because they think there's like this checklist of how you're supposed to do life, and that's just not a reality. For me, I never wanted to get married, and then I met Josh, who was amazing.
Yeah, and vice versa. And I would say maybe tip number 6, don't date out of convenience, right? Which is like, a lot of people, they'll be in a relationship and you'll talk to them and they'll be like, yeah, I don't know if they're really the person I want to be with. And you're like, what the heck are you doing in a relationship with that person? And it's just
wasting time.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, it's just somebody to hang out with, or somebody that, fulfills a certain need. And they're just dating because it's convenient and it's easy, but they know that's not really the person for them, or they're comfortable with that person. You know what I mean? I'm like, who you hang around with has such an impact on your life, whether you realize it or not. And to date somebody just for the sake of dating somebody and purely out of convenience, like, you really are wasting your time. And that person's having an influence on your life when they might not be the person that should be influencing your life, but you're letting them in, especially when it's a relationship.
Yeah. Because
it's not only demanding your time, but it's also emotionally demanding, mentally demanding.
Everything.
It's like, be careful. Don't date just out of convenience. Be very intentional about who you're dating and who you're spending so much of your time with. Because honestly, if it's not the right person, you're better off just investing all that time back into yourself. Yeah, be selfish in that sense of like, this person isn't worth investing your time, which is the most valuable asset you have. Use that time for yourself.
I agree with that 100%. That kind of goes back to my number 1 thing, is like, know who you are. Take the time to date yourself first before you date somebody else, because if you don't know who you are as a person, you're going to have nothing to offer that person. Or the amount that you do have is going to fade quickly, because a lot of times it's physical. Because you're like, oh, this is all I have is my like good looks or whatever. And that's not true. Like, everybody has unique gifts to themselves that will complement their mate.
Yep, I think that's a good chunk of tips.
Those are a good chunk of dating tips. Per my hubby.
And my wifey.
Time to eat, you guys. You guys, we are doing something so cool. Josh finally caved.
Sid? This is the Australian Shepherd, the toy one.
Can we get a baby? Can we get one? You are so precious. You're so precious. Aren't you? Bless you.
Thank you. What movie are we seeing?
A Quiet Place.
Shh. Rachel's got her popcorn. Shh, I got that. It's all for her. Just kidding, we share it. And Coke Zero, always.
Alright, you guys, we just finished.
A Quiet Place. What's your stat or your feelings on the movie?
It was really good, you guys. It was a thriller, so it's not necessarily like scary, but it makes you jump.
Yep.
Or as Josh says,
Makes your butt pucker? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
makes your butt pucker.
That makes you sound like a hillbilly or something.
Kinda.
No, but for you know, like when you're like you clench your butt. Yeah.
Do you guys want to meet somebody special?
Should we tell them what's going on right now?
No. So, Josh took me to a puppy store, as you guys saw, and now I really want Penny. That's her name. I named her.
Which is the little puppy in that photo.
Yeah. So now we're gonna end this vlog with us. We're gonna end the vlog here, so you guys are gonna have to see our discussion about if we buy a puppy or not. Because it's a really big decision.
Yeah. You're talking probably 10 years. It's a long time to have an animal.
It's a long commitment, especially like being young and like traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah, and all the additional expenses like vet bills and.
I just am like, she's so cute.
And don't get me wrong, man. That is a cute little puppy, and she's like, she might have just been so tired, but she was just so like, you just hold her and she kind of just, you could see her head. She was literally just like putting her head on Brandy just to like rest. You know what I mean?
She was just she's like, take me out of this noisiness.
Yep.
But
She doesn't like crowds like you.
alright, you guys, we're gonna end the vlog here. Once again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment about your guys' like dating experiences or tips and tricks that you guys do.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Yep. Subscribe.
Yes.
For more content. We're trying to put out some fun videos, more of them too.
Yes, yes.
So,
and share it too if you feel this would be helpful for somebody.
yes, if you know somebody dating or that falls into one of the categories, send them over this way, and they can even hit us with comments if they have any questions or anything like that. We're more than happy to answer.
We're an open book.
Yeah.
Have a good night, you guys.
See you guys.